Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is a place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today I'm here with my friend and colleague, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we are the BizChicks. Today is the day that we talk tech in a way that's easy to understand, and we always like to give a shout out to those of you watching live and on the replay, and all of you in the clubhouse. We just want to say, hey, welcome to today's conversation. We're going to be talking about what's going on in tech news. So while we're doing that, we want to say to you, if you're looking to be a part of the Biz Chicks community, you can simply text biz to 33777. Also, if you are watching us on social media, we'd like you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so we can get this party started even better. And also, if you would follow us on our various social media pages, we'd appreciate it. We hope that we bring value to you and that you, in turn, will do the thing that we love for you to do, which is follow us and join the conversation. All right, Fran, how you doing this morning?
I'm well. How are you?
All is well. I know we like to get started with This Week in Tech. So what do you have for us today?
Okay, so this week in tech history, we are talking. The first story I'm going to share is about how Microsoft introduced the Microsoft mouse for the IBM and the IBM compatible PCs. This was May 2nd, 1983. The mouse featured two green buttons and is available by itself or will later be bundled with the new Microsoft Word software, which Microsoft would release in September. Because of the green buttons, the mouse was named or nicknamed the green-eyed mouse, which may have been a fitting name, giving it similarity to the Shakespearean phrase green-eyed monster.
Okay.
To describe jealousy. It was no secret that Bill Gates was very envious of what Apple was creating with the Lisa and later Macintosh computers and their mouse-driven interfaces. Microsoft will manufacture nearly 100,000 units of their first mouse, but will only sell 5,000 before introducing a second, more popular version in 1985.
Wow.
Microsoft would go on to create a very successful line of mice and other computing peripherals over the years, but almost ironically, Microsoft announced in April of 2023, nearly 40 years later, that they would end the production of Microsoft branded peripherals and focus on their Surface branded peripherals. So Surface is their tablet. And so they're not going to be doing like a Microsoft mouse and other peripherals like they were doing before. They're going to be focusing everything on the Surface brand. This came months after Microsoft announced a 30% year-over-year drop in revenue from devices. They cut 10,000 jobs and announced changes to their hardware portfolio.
So let me see if I understand it. So they're saying they're going to stop making laptops or whatever.
No, just the peripherals that go on them.
So the mice and
right,
it plugs into.
Yes.
Okay.
Because they're now going with Surface, which is more a tablet.
Okay.
And the tablet, you don't really need a whole lot of peripherals. You know what I mean?
Well, what about a keyboard? But okay, I understand.
Well, the keyboard, yeah, but they're doing a keyboard for the Surface, not for they're not doing stuff for their PCs.
Gotcha.
Peripherals for the PCs.
Okay.
Okay, and another Microsoft.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go down that rabbit hole, but you.
No, because questions are good. So in other Microsoft news, in May 2nd of 1991, Microsoft finally registers the Microsoft.com domain name. And for such a major technology company, it was 6 years Okay, for such a major technology company, notably, this was over 6 years after the domain name system was created. So the domain name system was created 6 years before, and they just now getting to it afterwards. And it was the first domain name registered. Okay. And over 4 years after Apple registered apple.com. And it says it took, the person who wrote this column said, I guess it was no surprise that it took Microsoft another 4 years to recognize the growing importance of the internet tidal wave. About a year after the World Wide Web was already gaining mainstream popularity. So, Microsoft has kind of been not on the cutting edge as
personal stuff.
Yeah.
Personal computing.
Right, because most of the rest of technology and industry were already on board, and it took them 4 years after stuff had gotten in there. So, and then, hey, Dr. Tachi. And so, yeah, it was interesting. So, May 3rd, 1978, Gary Thurick, a marketing representative for Digital Equipment Corporation, sends out an email promoting an open house for the company's latest computer systems to 393 recipients on the ARPANET. Now, this is 1978, and this is a precursor to the modern internet. While that sounds like it was small, the ARPANET users on the West Coast, this represented all of the ARPANET users on the West Coast in the United States. And given that this was an unsolicited commercial email, it is now considered the first of its kind. In other words, it was the first spam message well before the term was coined. It brought a quick and negative response from many users, and Thurick was warned by ARPANET administrators that mass mailings were not acceptable use of the network. And now, the backlash, nonetheless, the open house was largely successful with over $12 million in sales. And so I guess it was better to ask for forgiveness than for permission.
Exactly.
Right. So he sent the message out. Hey, Michelle and Renee and Dr. Tachi over on Clubhouse. Okay. So, okay. May 3rd, 1984, Dell Computer Corporation is founded by Michael Dell, running the direct-to-order PC company from his dorm room. Using this innovative direct-to-order model, Dell Incorporated eventually became the largest manufacturer of PCs in the world for many years. So through ups and downs, it is still currently in the top 3 as of 2022.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought that.
Okay. Yeah, there's IBM. Well, IBM is now Lenovo. And so there's Lenovo, there's Dell, and HP.
Okay.
Because Microsoft technically does not make computers. They make the software that runs on the computers.
Correct. Okay.
So those 3, HP, Dell, and Lenovo. Okay. Let's see. Do I want to do that? Let's talk about it. I'm going to go to space. Okay. May 5th, 1961, NASA astronaut Alan Shepard becomes the first American in space when he makes a 15-minute suborbital flight aboard the Mercury capsule Freedom 7. He reaches an altitude of 115 miles, during which he experiences about 5 minutes of weightlessness. That was May 5th, 1961. And this is also the same Alan Shepard that the movie Hidden Figures, that was in the movie Hidden Figures, where the ladies, the Black women, were running the computer
and doing the calculations.
Yeah, they were the computers, and then Catherine Oh, what was
Johnson.
Catherine's last
John,
name?
Johnson.
Yes, Katherine Johnson was the one who did the calculations to make sure he got back to Earth okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that is your week in tech history.
Yeah. My man said he wasn't going nowhere unless the ladies did the calculations. He said, I want
Who's
her
your girl?
he said, I want her to do it.
Yeah, because they wasn't trusting the computer at that time.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. Well, I want to share with you a couple of things. And I want to start with talking about, we talked in 2020 about e-skin. I don't know if we called it that.
Hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
Mark had a question. A comment.
Oh, okay. I had a comment. Hold on. I didn't
Jokes
see.
for the morning. The only weightlessness that I've ever experienced was during my 6 days of food poisoning recovery.
Oh my gosh.
So, yes, he is joking about it now.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
good.
so glad that you got through that.
Go ahead, Dr. Tachi.
I'm saying I hope he feels much better. I know he was feeling terrible.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think he's doing a lot better. He's joking again, so
Yeah.
I think we're out of the woods.
Thank God for your recovery. Okay, that threw me off. Okay. I wanted to share with you, speaking of, health, I wanted to share with you about some of the evolution of e-skin. And
E-skin, like in skin on your body skin?
yes, like
Okay.
skin for your body.
Okay.
Electronic skin, and some of the developments that have happened. This video I want to share with you is from YouTube, and it talks about what's happening since 2022. So let's do this, and let me go over here and go full screen with this. Can you see that? I can't tell if it's centered properly.
It's fine.
Okay. All right, I'm going to start the video. And you can see, for those of you who are in Clubhouse, there is a material lining the inside of this model of a mouth. And there's a layer of, I don't know what it's made out of. It looks like a silicone fiber with sensors in it. So we're going to play the video.
Could you imagine a world where you could easily wear a device that monitors your health and doesn't interfere with your way of living? What if this device could be powered by your sweat? Does this sound like something that's impossible to exist? Well, scientists believe they may be on the right track. This is Materials Lab, and today we are going to look at electronic skin. One such scientist is John Rogers. He leads a team at Northwestern University that develops soft, flexible, skin-like material with health monitoring applications. Along with Rogers are many other scientists studying electronic skin. Many universities are heavily invested in researching the possibilities of what it is capable of continuing to update frequently. Now, Rogers' team developed a device that is designed to be in the hollow base of the throat and communicate wirelessly over Bluetooth. This piece of polymer and circuitry provides real-time monitoring of talking, breathing, heart rate, and other vital signs, which could be used in individuals who have a stroke and require speech therapy.
It has wireless interface to the phone, so when I bring my phone close to the device.
Hello, I am a skin-like microfluidic device. Please scan for biomarker information.
Rogers is at the forefront of this type of technology. This e-skin technology has already made it into volunteers and clinics globally, helping to monitor vital signs in premature infants and hydration in athletes, for instance. Where did this technology come from? It has its roots in components found in e-book readers and curved televisions. After years of research and many experiments, the best approach to e-skin is to wear it and forget it. You can be wearing a device all day and forget that it's there, says George Maliaros. Silicon and organic bases approaches have their uses. Organic electronics are suitable for large area, low-cost, disposable applications that require moderate electronic performance, whereas silicon is suitable for high-performance, small area applications. Another researcher, Mahu Bhaskaran from RMIT University in Melbourne, favors the inorganic approach. Bhaskaran and her team use metals to develop artificial skins that can sense pain.
Ouch.
Her group created a stretchable electronic material after blending the oxide coating with stretchy rubbers such as silicon. Bhaskaran and her colleagues took their research further by producing a material that can mimic the skin's response to excessive heat, pressure, and pain, as well as the brain's reaction to it. They combined a flexible gold PDMS pressure sensor with a vanadium oxide temperature sensor and a component based on strontium oxide that remembers how much electrical charge has flowed through it. But what could be measured by electronic skin? Mostly the sensors are tactile and could measure the pressure being applied against the skin. Along with tactile sensors, it is possible for the electronic skin to sense many hazardous substances and pathogens. This advancement could lead to a quicker diagnostic and earlier treatment, which would increase the possibility of living.
Actually, it's probably better than human skin. We show that we're able to classify textures just from direct touch without sliding. So humans need to slide to feel texture. But in this case, the skin, with just a single touch, is able to detect textures of different roughness. And so in some sense, it's quite difficult to cheat this skin, especially when it's combined with AI algorithms that can learn very quickly.
Finally, there is a bizarre attempt to use biofilm to produce electricity from your sweat. It could be possible to charge your wearables on the go and from your own body. No more having to charge your watch daily as you sleep. This process relies on evaporation-based electricity production, the hydrovoltaic effect. In simple terms, water flow is driven by evaporation between the solid biofilm and the liquid water, which drives the transport of electrical charges to generate an electrical current. During testing, the biofilm would produce power for 18 hours on sweaty skin, and even non-sweating skin generated a substantial electric output. So, it would appear that electronic skin could be a lot more useful than anyone first thought. And if these ideas keep developing, who knows? Maybe we won't have to use traditional sockets to charge wearables.
Heavily inspired by Star Wars. As a kid, there was a scene when Luke Skywalker lost his hand, and towards the end, a robot surgeon repaired his hand, complete with full sensation. So the robot goes prick his fingers and it goes ouch.
Stay tuned for the next episode of Materials Lab next week. In the meantime, check out our other original series.
Okay.
Okie dokie. So we got some comments over here from Mark.
Yeah, Mark got comments. So let's go through the comments before I add my own, and then we'll hear from people in the audience as well. Mark says, we'll be like cars. Your red light is flashing. You need to add fluids. Then he said it was all good until they were cross signals and my mouse started playing music from the Apple library, and it wasn't even my library and was not my musical taste.
Oh my gosh.
And he says, can my e-skin identify and extinguish all wrinkles?
Hey.
He said, I had a heart attack, but on the bright side, my iPhone and my Apple Watch are now fully charged.
That's about the size of it, Mark. I was just like, this is just really phenomenal what is going on with these biometrics and the ability to apply them to the body. And I think maybe 5 or 6 years ago, TJ was talking to us about wearables. Remember, she was
Mhm.
all about the wearables, and now we're talking about wearable skin that actually has the ability to feel pain, pressure. It's like I wanted to share this with you guys and to see what you thought about it, because they are applying. Now, here's the deal. I read an article where they are applying this technology to robots so that they have the sensory touch of humans. So they can feel when they're experiencing pain, etc. And they think they want to use this because it should make them better. Are you ready for this? Surgeons, because some operations and some, what would you call it, tasks are being performed by robots.
Okay.
I'm
Dr. Tachi, did you want to weigh in first, or because
Yes. Here's the thing. I do see potential things that could be done with this. Like as this was going on, I'm saying, because my first thing is always like no, but I see it because somebody, a bad actor, always finds a way to do something.
yeah,
But
you
see the potential for these types of things. For example, this is the type of thing that could be maybe wrapped around prosthetics so that there is some sort of sense of
exactly.
and sensing things. So I could see that happening. I mean, there's really promising future for these types of skins, even things, even people who may be burn victims, who have lost like some sense of feeling in limbs. This is something that could work.
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought. I thought about prosthetics when they were talking about it, and like hands being able to actually feel when you're close to something, or if someone wants to touch you, you can now sense it. You know what I mean?
Right.
What a gift! Yeah.
So now my first comment, my first thought was better than skin. When they said that better than the original skin, I'm like, no, dude, no. Now you get real close, but not better than the original skin, because there's always something in our DNA that we're not able to mimic or able to
replicate. Yeah.
Okay, you can't get every little thing that we do or that's in our skin. It's very difficult to mimic everything and how we're wired and the neurons and everything. Now you're getting close, but when you start talking, it's better than your own skin. I'm like, no. Okay.
And may I add something? Not to be TMI, but this is going to work. The industry that always latches on to technology first, do we know what it is?
Pharmaceuticals? What?
The adult industry.
Yeah. Yeah, Lord.
And not to be TMI, but they do that because they always need to have new experiences for people, because I guess people get bored quickly. I don't know.
Yeah,
They latch on to VR. They latch on to all of these technologies really quickly. So I can already see what they could do with it. I won't go into detail, but you can see how that would work in the adult industry as well.
All righty then.
Mark said, call me when your robot has adult acne.
Oh my gosh.
And so I agree with Dr. Tachi also about the bad actors. Somebody's going to get a hold of this and start doing stuff, especially when it can connect up with your phone via Bluetooth and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
We got to have two-factor authentication just to get on apps. Now, if I need to grab a piece of toast, I'm gonna need to dial in and put in my code. Okay.
Hi.
And then charging your devices via your sweat.
Well, I can see where there would be a wonderful opportunity to have, something where you authenticate for the day or something. I don't know.
I'm,
Maybe, maybe,
I'm
maybe
sorry.
you
No
know what I mean?
rice tips. I'm not. You will not put something on me to track me. And
Oh, as far as under your skin. No, I'm talking about
I'm talking about on top of my skin trying to track me
I'm
because
talking
this
about okay.
because it's
You're
on
talking
the
about two different
it's on top of the skin, and I know it's like
things.
a really thin piece of
Yeah.
plastic with the they can still try and track us. I'm sorry. I'm
Well,
just
they have to track us if they're monitoring our body functions.
no, but what I mean is now this is taking it to a new level. They tracking you like find my phone, find my AirPods, find that type of tracking. Because now they have you wearing a little skin patch because it reminds me of the patch that you wear if you're trying to quit smoking and that type of thing. So the patch goes on there. They're tracking that. It is now electronically.
Well, it's got to be connected to something in order to get the data. Okay.
Yeah.
And Mark says, I'm hacking my enemies and giving them highs.
Mark must be feeling better.
Yeah, he is, because he got jokes today. So that whole thing is, if it can stay out of the wrong hands, it might. I mean, it really does have really good potential.
Especially when they talked about what they could do for stroke victims who have speech issues.
Right.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know there was a hollow part in my in my throat where you can implant something. I'm like, okay, that freaked me out.
And see, because the medical industry, I don't know if I remember telling this story. The lady, I bought something and she had just had a baby. And she said, oh, and I had to go back and have my gallbladder removed. And, my friends did too. And I'm like, wait a minute, when y'all start taking gallbladders out right after having a child? Yes.
Exactly.
And I was like, so hold on.
Don't you need that? Don't you need that?
That's the question.
I was like, so wait a minute. So the new thing is, so now if you have another child, what you gonna take out next? Because you only got one gallbladder. I was like,
may I ask why?
Well, we're all asking that.
She did not have an answer as to why. She just said, oh, I had to go back in and so that they can remove my gallbladder. And she said it as though this was a thing. And her other friends too that had babies, they had their gallbladder removed. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. There's got to be more to this story. And there was nothing wrong necessarily with her,
gallbladder,
not having gallstones or something. And maybe because that people are having UTIs or something, but I'm trying to understand. Okay, not taking the gallbladder.
I thought doctors don't take body parts unless it's necessary.
I thought so too.
I'm sorry. Okay, so here we go. Down the little rabbit hole. When people were taking out tonsils, they were taking out tonsils, and I think that, okay, they were practicing, because you really don't, when you have a sore throat, don't mean that you go in and take your tonsils out. It just means your body is trying to fight an infection. But
infection, yes, the white blood cells and all, yeah.
Right, and your throat is sore. So looking back on it, in my generation, everybody was getting their tonsils out, and they were like, well, you get to eat ice cream. Your throat is still sore, but it's sore because
but you get to eat ice cream.
And then,
so I can eat ice cream any day.
Dr. Tasi says, see how they dangle carrots? And I was like, wait, hold on a minute. And then as I got a little bit more info, I'm like, tonsils don't need to come out. They are a part of the body that has some type of function.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, Mark says, it was a BOGO, buy one get one free.
It was a BOGO
at the hospital. And so I question when they start just taking parts or just taking stuff, because they were having women do hysterectomies, like that was a thing. Everybody, you're 45 now, you need to whoa, why?
And they still do that,
right?
To some extent. They still do unnecessary surgery when it comes to the reproductive system. You just have to be well aware of what's going on. You have to be your own advocate, but that's with anything. But I think that speaks to the whole problem of the medical system, and also our lack of education and former experimentation and current experimentation in medicine. I think patients are often just too afraid to speak up, and they often think that, well, you're a doctor, you went to school, so you must know. When in reality, just like they were taking out people's tonsils, they continue to experiment with things because they don't know everything.
Right.
And so
they're guessing.
The word
they're guessing with the diagnosis, but now they got ChatGPT, so they better go over there and check it first before they start doing anything. I'm just making a joke.
Not ChatGPT MD.
But the thing is, they are practicing physicians. They say it on the wall or whatever. Practice.
Right.
They ain't got this down.
Right.
They still practice.
Exactly.
Okay. That's why I was like, so I was just simply appalled. So if you have another baby, what are you gonna get next? And Mark said I went in for a checkup and walked out with my tonsils, gallbladder, and appendix.
Yeah, mercy.
They did a trifecta, huh?
and other body parts where they don't understand what they're there for, like the spleen, the appendix. I understand if it's ruptured, it needs to come out. But but they be taking stuff, and you'd be like, wait a minute.
I wonder if we're going to start charging them when they take stuff unnecessarily.
Look, if you wake up, I mean, no.
If you know it's gone.
I don't know.
Do we really know what they took out? We was asleep, hopefully.
So I think that's the problem. With when they start creating new stuff. Oh, we could just do this and start doing stuff, and it's better than the original part. No, it's not. It is not.
Nothing's better than the original parts. Okay, guys. I don't know if y'all even want to hear from me anymore. Y'all had enough of me for today.
Let's hear it.
Okay, this one's a little fun one. This is about a company in Miami, and we've seen these things on campuses, but let's see if we can get this.
Miami pink robots.
Yeah, the Miami pink robots. Let's see. I don't know if I can get this to get out of the way. Here we go.
Click on the watch. Yeah, the little pop-up window.
Okay. And now is that centered, guys?
All we see is just the images.
Okay.
Click on the watch button. There's a watch button.
Look, hold on. Let me go back. I'm seeing something different. So let me come out and start over.
Okay.
Share my screen. Here we go. All right. Does that look better?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the video.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a video of the little pink robot.
It's muted, the video.
Oh, hold on. It is?
Yeah. See the button?
Oh, yeah. I see it over here. Yeah, I see it over here.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to start it over.
Of months, tiny pink robots have been roaming the streets of downtown Miami. Well, now the company behind the robots plans to expand their services to include not only packages, but also restaurant items.
And many people who've seen them around town want to know what they're being used for. Our Laura Rodriguez is in downtown Miami with the answers.
Hi, my name is Jeffrey. Jeffrey is in town and zooming past pedestrians on sidewalks with special deliveries.
Your package has been delivered.
The hard-eyed pink robots were developed by Canadian company Tiny Mile.
We're able to just kind of operate in dense areas, really tight-knit areas at a really low cost because we're using robots.
The robots can be used within a certain radius as a courier service to send documents, books, gifts, and items weighing less than 20 pounds. Right now, the peer-to-peer service is free of charge.
It is completely free to use. We look at it as a free public utility. And the way we are able to offer that free public utility is by our amazing sponsors. So our sponsors, they sponsor our robot. They wrap their brand around the robot.
The robots have cameras and they also have sensors for safety and security. And each robot is remotely controlled by people who are working from home or in office in different parts of the world.
They're always kind of, keeping a close eye on their surroundings, controlling the robot, and making sure we're following the right pedestrian rules and the traffic rules.
Within the next 3 weeks, Tiny Mile will also launch a restaurant delivery service option. This will feature a combination of human couriers, and the pink robots will be used for shorter distances.
We actually help save the restaurant thousands of dollars through their Uber Eats commissions.
Right now, you can find the robots in downtown Miami and also in Brickell, but the Tiny Mile team hopes to expand their service areas within the coming years. Reporting in downtown Miami, I'm Laura Rodriguez, NBC6 News.
Okay, so I guess Uber got something to be concerned about.
I would be concerned if I was a delivery service, and it's free.
This is Uber.
This is gonna happen,
right? And there's gonna be more and more of these popping up. And okay, so I watch NCIS, so they did one of these with the delivery robot. They came to and brought the woman lunch or something.
Right.
Okay, so NCIS, as you know, they got stuff happening. So it was more than just food up in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but people were everything has an option to be used for bad, and but the delivery robot is great because if I need you to go down to the next building to deliver the document for me. You don't have to come out of the building, go downstairs, do all of that. And you didn't have to call the courier that normally we get on the bike, little bike.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. Mark said, here a delivery robot would be stripped of its parts and the package within a block and the package within a block of its departure.
And that's what I was thinking. Are people going to abuse the robot? You know what I mean? But hey,
yeah, but see, it has that QR. You can only open it with the QR code. So
right, you and it is for you,
and it has cameras. That's what I
right.
And someone is actually monitoring it from a remote location, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, I saw the guy with the little pink Xbox controller.
Okay.
Like a Game Boy, like, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
We have a Floridian in the house, so the Floridian can give their opinion.
Have you seen any of these pink robots around Miami?
First of all, let's clear up the misconception. I am not a Floridian. I just happen to live in Florida.
So assimilated down there.
Okay, the Florida resident. Okay, we'll do that.
I'm a Florida resident. First of all, I'm in Fort Lauderdale, which is like outside of it. Fort Lauderdale, Miami is one area. So I am like about 40 minutes or so from Miami, but I'm not in downtown Miami enough to see any of those. In fact, I try to avoid downtown Miami if at all possible. But I haven't seen them yet. What I'm wondering is because Miami is so close by, I'm wondering if they will have them in Fort Lauderdale soon as well. And then because I'm so close to downtown, I will probably see them around. But I think, I think this is a great idea. It is going to, it mimics the whole thing in a sense that Amazon is doing with the drones, drone delivery thing. It mimics that in a sense for a smaller, tighter radius. But I can see these types of things going off, especially in places like think about New York.
Yeah.
Think about places where there's not a lot of room, and so there's already a problem getting your truck or whatever someplace. If you have something like this, they can get into tight spots. You couldn't deliver a whole big truckload of things, but for individual documents, food deliveries, those types of things, that could work.
Right. And Ellis, who's here in Clubhouse, she says those pink robots are going to be robbed in the inner city. And then she said they will be disassembled. This is 2 minutes. In 2 seconds, they'll be stripped like cars.
That's why they're going to be in the inner city. Let's tell the truth. They're not going to be in certain places
And
because of the risk.
yeah, and if you notice, it was a very small area. So, because I guess because they want to be able to monitor this stuff, because like you said, it is new and the robots are at risk. Well, that's a nice flip of the script. At least the robots are at risk for a change instead of us.
Exactly. But you notice, again, so because I know the area, it's going to be in certain areas. I don't know if that was Midtown. That was probably downtown, maybe close to Midtown. Where you're not going to see it, Overtown, City, you're not going to see those in areas like that. So even though those areas are all very downtown adjacent, it's going to be a very small radius.
I would think like in downtown where the finance district is and things where the main
where couriers are usually found, right?
Where businesses are, they're not going to be out on the outskirts. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would think where couriers are. Where
the couriers are normally used.
Yeah.
Right. And I think this tops Uber, because Uber requires a car or what have you. Here in where we are, this would be used like downtown Terry.
Yes.
It would not come past, it probably wouldn't even go into Midtown.
No, it would probably go from government building to government building, from lawyers' offices, that kind of stuff, to deliver, or even like for realtors, to deliver documents,
right?
Things of that nature, or food. Now, I don't know if they can get past the homeless if it's smelling pretty good, but or some hungry students. I don't know, but yeah.
Can I add something?
Yeah,
that's an interesting thing. If they have another sponsor, perhaps that's something they could do and deliver some meals to the homeless using those. And it doesn't, particular days or whatever. But if they get a sponsor that could do that, that might be helpful.
Like the food bank.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Like a mobile food bank a little bit.
It could kind of be like the Meals on Wheels, but it's not the truck. It's,
Isn't that interesting that they could become Meals on Wheels for disabled people or elderly people?
That too.
People who still have the capacity to answer their door and take it out. You know what I'm saying?
It really does have some good.
Or they may have a caregiver who can do it.
Right. It really has some good potential if it makes it, like between Mark and Ann, if it don't get stripped before it leaves the.
Did you hear what Mark said on the bright side?
The colonel, he said on the bright side, the colonel could have fulfilled his assassination attempt on me without charging me for delivery.
Your assignment, if you decide to take it.
All right, that was pretty good. And then because this is not quite AI, but it is robotics, and robotics is we are
working on robotics for a while, and just like with the GPT stuff and all that, they've been working on that. That's why it's GPT-4 and not GPT-1, because they've been working on the last 3-4 years and robotics. We all seen the ad, not the ads, but the little videos put out by MIT and Boston Dynamics.
Yes,
that they make the robots. The ones that look like dogs scare me. Like the little 4-legged ones, but then they have the ones that look
yellow
like
ones.
Yeah, and then they have the ones that are 2-legged that help. One video helped the man; he was up on the scaffolding and then jumped up and brought him a tool. That was cool, but the little ones that look like dogs, they scare me. I'm like,
that's because the head's not on there quite.
Yeah, it looks weird to me. But
that's the other thing. Like, I'm glad you mentioned that, TJ, because one of the articles I read was they're trying to teach these robots how to blink, because the fact that they have these huge eyes and
Oh,
they
you mean
just
the ones with the humanoid
yeah,
face?
because humans are freaked out by them because they don't have any
But they need to put a head on the dog one
Yeah, I
because
think so too.
I'm like, no, that one just freaks me
Even
out.
if it serves no purpose. But I don't see why they don't have a head on there, because at least it could hold a camera. You know what I mean?
Yeah, put a GoPro there instead of
Something.
nothing.
I'm with you. It looks
Oh.
weird. So that's all I have, guys.
Unlike the creepy cat.
Yes.
Yeah, the creepy cat's eyes were moving, and I was like, no, okay, stop.
Oh my goodness. Well, TJ, I'm passing the mantle.
Okay, I'm
Hold
ready.
on.
Oh.
Dr. Tachi, do you need to go next?
I do. I sent a message.
Okay.
If you
Yeah.
We do not mind.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another week of media updates from Mediascope and beyond. And there is a lot going on in media. If you have not been paying attention, perhaps you've been living under a rock. Well, let me lift that rock for you with this information. And we're going to start with the fact, obviously, the big news, the writer's strike. Everybody knows about the writer's strike, right?
Yep. Yep.
Last week, we were talking about it. 2 weeks ago, we were talking about it being impending. Well, apparently, my thing is like, you know what? All this could really be avoided. Why don't you all, the studios, why do you let it get to this point? There has not been a strike, a major Hollywood strike in 15 years. Why do you let it get to this point? I don't know. I don't understand. Please help me, 20th Century Fox. Please help me, Paramount. Please help me. Why do you let it get to this point? But there's a lot going on. So the writer's strike, according to TV News Check, looks like it's going to be a long fight, and Hollywood is bracing for it. So they're writing to preserve pay, job security outside major studios, and job security outside of major studios and streamers, and they're really bracing for a long fight. This is the first strike, as I said, in 15 years, and it started Tuesday. And the Writers Guild of America has 11,500 members. They all stopped working as soon as that contract expired. Well, time to go home.
Wow.
That's exactly what they did. So what are they seeking? Higher minimum pay, more writers per show, and less exclusivity on single projects and other demands. And these have all been, they're saying they've been diminished in the content boom of the streaming era. Now, yes. So here's the thing. I have some friends that are out there picketing because they're writers and things. And I do understand. I don't really know enough to say definitively, but I know streaming is different. This whole era is now different of content, and I keep trying to communicate that to people. There's less money right now there's money to be made in streaming, but the contracts are less than in traditional television. Does that make sense?
Right.
So whereas there may be multi-million-dollar contracts that you have for shows on network TV, on cable TV, streaming works a little bit differently. The amount of money, I don't even want to say the amount of money is not there. I just really think that they knew that in order to preserve what they have, they could not do the big contractual spends that broadcast TV, etc. does. So I think that's part of the reason for that. That doesn't diminish their demands anymore, but also understanding that the dividends are going to be less because it's streaming. So Kelly Galuska, who was a writer for The Bear on FX and Big Mouth on Netflix, said this: everything's changed, but the money has changed in the wrong direction. She picketed Fox Studios in Los Angeles with her 3-week-old daughter. She says it's a turning point in the industry right now, and if we don't get back to even, we never will. So the last strike was from the same union, from the WGA, in 2007 and 2008. It took 3 months to resolve. There are no talks planned or even pending between the WGA and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, and that's who represents the studios and the production company. So it doesn't know, nobody knows how long the writers will have to go without pay, or how many major productions will be delayed, shortened, or scrapped. So Josh Gad, who is a writer for shows like Central Park and an actor in films like Frozen, said, "We'll stay out as long as it takes from the Fox picket line." So we already know that a stoppage was going to be likely. Again, I'm like, why do you let it get to this point? But it got to this point. So as it was starting to escalate, I'm like, oh yeah, they're definitely going on strike. So what are some of the shows that have been affected and that immediately went dark? The Tonight Show, Comedy Central Daily Show, Jimmy Kimmel Live, CBS The Late Show, and NBC's Late Night all made plans to do reruns throughout the week. Yeah, guess I won't be watching them. Also, Saturday Night Live was scheduled to air a new episode this Saturday, but they're going dark and they're going to air a rerun, and the 2 remaining episodes that they have in the season are in jeopardy. So this strike will most likely impact, of course it will, not most likely, but it will impact scripted series and films, but the impact is probably going to take longer for us to notice. Some shows like Showtime's Yellow Jackets have already paused the production on forthcoming seasons. So let's talk about what happens if it goes through the summer. If it does, TV schedules are going to be affected for the fall. And in the meantime, though, those that have finished scripts are going to continue to shoot. So if they're waiting for scripts to be written, they're going to be waiting a long damn time. But if they already have a finished script, they're probably going to go ahead and finish. But then that means that puts future in jeopardy as well. So we don't know how long this is going to take to resolve. Let me know your thoughts before I go on.
Well, we do have a comment from Mark.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, 2 comments from Mark.
Yes.
He says, power to the writers, it's time for them to get their due. Like all of us, they should be able to make a living in an industry overflowing with wealth. No writers, no show.
Exactly.
And then he further comments, the problem is that the greed will not die. The cost to subsidize the writers eventually will come from us with higher subscription prices.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. Which honestly, I don't mind, because if I'm watching something that you put your hard work into, I don't mind paying you for it. Not at all. What I mind is that we're paying for it, and you all, the executives at these companies, are making record salaries. That's what I mind. So, and I'm not trying to say there should be a cap on what you get either, but people need to have a living wage. A lot of this is what they're levying at the industry, that they've been reduced to gig workers, to a gig economy within writing because of the changes brought by the streaming TV era. And I do understand and feel for them. But this is where we have to know where to change. It's the same thing that people are talking about with AI, right? Oh, AI is going to take jobs. Okay, but you have to have a plan in place. We know that changes are coming. We know changes have come. How you roll with the punches and how you adapt to the changes is solely up to you, and that determines your success in this. The problem is we keep leaning on old models of doing things, and we don't like change. Hollywood is adverse to change. They don't like to work with people outside of who they know, and they don't like to change their systems. As such, we've seen this come. The first time Netflix sent out a damn DVD, you knew this was coming, but you sat there and nothing's going to happen, and then it happened. Because you refuse to be futurists, these things continue to happen. So you've got to future-proof yourself, and they refuse to do that. And until they do that, these types of things are going to continue to happen. They could have avoided all this years ago by future-proofing themselves, in my opinion. Yes, maybe it's not that simple, but it is as simple as see what's out there, determine what needs to be done, and work toward that. You don't want to do that because you like your old model. So I can't help.
Writing this. Wow.
Yeah.
Whew. I just am concerned for them. I want them to do well, and I don't understand why they don't get a residual like the actors do. You know, they.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is per gig. You probably are not making, being a writer, you either really love it or you hate it. I love writing, but I have to, you have to know where your where things work for you, where your talents lie and where things work for you. I love writing, and I think I'm actually a damn good writer. Do I want to be in a writer's room where I have to do rewrites and stuff? Oh, hell no. I don't. So I know that being in the writing room of like a sitcom or a nightly show like a late show, that would never work for me because I don't feel like doing this rewrite because I know me. So you can tell those are people that really love the craft of writing to do it that much and are okay with doing rewrites and things like that. So it is a labor of love. It is a passion. It is not necessarily a huge money maker. People do it. Some people are making money. If you're a showrunner, in addition to being a head writer, you're going to be making a little more than somebody who just came into the writing room on a show, right? On a show that is like maybe lower rated or not as well known. So the thing is that I think that people have a misconception that everybody in Hollywood makes a whole bunch of money, and that's simply not the case. There's a love and a passion that you have for the creative arts, for acting, for theater, for those types of things that you would do regardless of the pay. However, people need to eat. California, as the two of you know, Francine and Terry, is extremely expensive, and you need to survive. And so we need to look at it in that sense as well. So understand that the industry has changed and the industry has refused to change with it, but also the fact that people should be paid equitably and fairly. So that's the writer's strike. Yay.
Yeah.
I will be giving updates and hopefully very soon they're able to resolve this. So they can get back to everybody can get back to doing what they love.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit.
Okay, Mark has another comment. He said, I worked for years as a writer, communications, and have continued to ghostwrite from time to time. I don't love it, so more power to those who do.
Yeah, exactly. I think Mark is like me. I love writing, but I have to be, here's the thing, I have to get in the mood to write. So if I'm like, you know what, I'm going to write about this, and then I will just rattle something off. Francine, from when I did the course, the Three Sisters course.
Yes.
The notes that I was going to give to you, that I gave to you all, ended up being a book I gave to you all because I was just on a roll. I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep going. And what was supposed to be 3 pages ended up being like, at this point, it's like almost 20 pages. So
right.
I have to be in the mood to do that. So I'm like Mark in that sense. There are some people that's what they do. I could not be on set. Like I write for a publication now, but it's as I feel like it, to be honest. Because if I had a deadline, I'd be fired. So let's talk about some more about writing. And really funny guy, Trevor Noah, is returning to topical comedy, and he's producing a show for Amazon Freevee. If you know, that is the free streaming channel that Amazon has, and it's called Mock the Week. So we're going to see Trevor Noah back. Didn't I tell you that we've not seen the last of Trevor Noah? He's not retiring. I knew he was coming back with something, and this is it. So it is called Mock the Week. It is a half-hour program that combines elements from talk shows, stand-up comedy sessions, and improv games, and 2 sets of teams of comics against each other in a bid to satirize current news events and popular culture. Now, you know what this sounds like? It sounds like NPR's Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. If you know. Yeah, this is what it sounds like to me. So apparently, a British series. So this is the U.S. version of the British series. And I love Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. So I think I would love this. This is going to be interesting. And again, it's going to be on Freevee. Now, Mock the Week has actually run in the UK for more than 15 years. You know what we like to do. We like to usurp things from other places and say, how can we do that? Because for some reason, well, I guess that's good because the writers are on strike. We need to look elsewhere for content.
And this is what I was getting ready to ask. If the writers are on strike, does it affect this show because it's US based?
Yeah, it definitely will. It definitely will. If their writers are covered under WGA, yes, it will. And even if they are not in solidarity with fellow writers, you're going to say, oh, yeah, we're not doing this. So it definitely will. So what I'm guessing, the production on the series is not starting until next year. So
Okay.
I'm guessing they're hoping by that time everything will be resolved. So they're just waiting on hope. And they don't have a host yet, but it will be announced at a later date. So in the statement, Trevor Noah said this: 2 things I'm most passionate about in life are paying my landlord and making people laugh. We could all use a little bit more laughter as we continue to navigate today's crazy world. I agree with that. Now, this move, it sees Freevee potentially taking a crack at a program that emulates the comedy of late night TV. And as TV audiences move to streaming, they're leaving behind some of the established formats, including late night programs that NBC, CBS, and other networks have had for decades. So here's the thing. I don't know if you knew this, but, you know, the Late Late Show, James Corden stepped down from it. So last week, CBS canceled the Late Late Show. So there is no Late Late Show anymore. They're not finding a new host. They just canceled it altogether. And again, that speaks to the move away from that type of format to something different, to streaming type of formats. And in fact, on streaming, there really is, think about it, there really is no type of one format. It's everything. You find all sorts of programming there. So network TV for years is the one that established the half-hour sitcom, then the single half-hour single camera comedy, game shows, late night shows. So for years, broadcast TV has been very formulaic. Oh, law programs are popular? Good. We all have to have a law program. The streaming breaks that norm. And so I'm excited to see what this is going to be. Definitely. Thoughts? Let me know.
I like what you said about streaming breaks the norm, because it really does. We get to choose what we want to see. We can go in there like, no. And you know how you swipe through and decide what you want to watch. I'm in the mood for comedy today. And you can go and pick the show that speaks to you at that time. And you're not beholden to a certain time on a certain channel.
Oh, yeah. TV is done. You know, it's like there are certain shows that people are like, okay, I got to be there at 8 o'clock on Thursday to watch this. But for the most part, because everything is on demand, and even if there is appointment TV, you could go back and watch it on demand. There's no incentive for me to be there at a particular time on a particular night. So really anything can exist at any point and still gain an audience. I think that is the great thing about streaming and on-demand content in general, that all you have to do, I shouldn't say all you have to do, but what you can do is generate some interest on social media, generate some interest as a cultural phenomenon, and people will go into the film. Look at Netflix. There's no set day or time, and things may drop at a certain time, but do people always watch at the time that it's dropped? No, because people are busy. It's like, all right, well, next weekend I'll get to it. And it continues to grow wings as it goes through the tenure of being popular. Every week they publish a top 10 of the streaming. And what is it? The one, I can't remember what's on top this week, but it's like you barely saw any advertising for it, maybe on YouTube. but it ended up being number one. So that's what I love about the streaming age, that it doesn't just rely on you having a primetime slot on a major network to succeed. I love that.
Right.
Terry, are you, or TJ, rather, I get confused. TJ, are you going to be talking about the new fronts at all?
About the what?
New fronts.
Oh, I'm gonna mention it. I'm not talking about it because Snapchat said something at the new front, but I'm not going. You go ahead.
Then I'll leave that because there's some Meta Snap and YouTube stuff from the new fronts. But if you're going to talk about it, I'll leave it.
Okay.
So yeah. So let's talk about this. At the new fronts, though, Roku debuted new originals. McDonald. What happened to my thing? Okay, so Roku has I don't know if you have Roku, but have you the screensaver they have? That's
I have Roku. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so they're getting a new partner. McDonald's is joining the TV's biggest downtown, so they are the first brand to integrate with the screensaver. They announced this Tuesday at the new fronts. Yeah, I think that is so cool, and I was waiting for this to happen. So this is a big deal because this is, again, the first actual brand that is going to be on the screensaver for Roku. Now, of course, I've changed mine to the fish tank, so I never see the city scene. But if you don't have Roku, there's like a city scene, and it kind of scrolls through. There are these tall buildings, kind of Art Deco-y, and what it does tells you like the new programs that are on. That are there, but this is
it's pretty cool because if you don't interact with your TV, it comes on if the TV's powered on because my TV will turn off after a while, but sometimes I'll just forget and the screensaver pops up and it is really cool. Like I said, it's like little moving the cityscape, and then it's seasonal, like it'll have seasonal stuff too. It's pretty cool.
It is. So part of that cityscape is going to be McDonald's. So I'm just waiting to see what they're actually going to do with that. Are you going to be able to interact with it and actually order? Are you going to be able to get some cool swag by interacting with it? So I'm excited to see what they do. And then the thing is, this also means a lot for a lot of other screensavers. Obviously, Roku is a big one, but Roku is probably going to fill that city with brands. Now that one is mentioned, everybody else wants to be on board as well. So we're going to be actually seeing a city, a downtown full of these different brands on the Roku screensaver. And I can say that we'll probably see the same thing with a lot of other brands. Amazon is not going to be left behind. So for their Fire Stick, they probably are going to try and do the same thing because there's money to be made there. Roku has an absolutely brilliant advertising model. The ad injection and things that they do, not just on the Roku channel, but on the interface. When you get in, see the different programs that are coming up. Like Terry said, they also it's seasonal. So you'll see spring, you'll see holidays and things like that. Yep. That's another opportunity for them to inject ads that have to do with, for example, holidays. Stovetop stuffing on their Thanksgiving one. Those types of things. So I think this is exciting. And if you can't tell, I'm excited. It is exciting for advertising in general because this is another avenue by which to advertise. And
it's not so forward, you're not hearing a bunch of stuff, but you are getting the message subliminally because it's on and you see it like, oh, and you know what I mean? It's not overpowering.
Right. And another thing they could probably do is put McDonald's could put a QR code on there or whatever coupon of the day or get a free this or that, and you use it with your, you point your phone at it. They could do that too.
Right. I like that idea with the QR code because
they could do that.
Right.
But I'm excited to see what they're going to do too.
I am too. That because I have Roku TV, but I normally just run my Apple TV on it. But I'm gonna check that out.
That's what I do too. But sometimes, if I pause something, like if I have it on a one of the things, one of the settings, the TV will just will go in the screensaver, and the things will just be on there, and then after a while it turns off. But no, it's cool.
Yeah. No.
Yay.
Well, now you have something to watch. It's a watch for what they're going to do with it. Okay. So, and I'm excited about that because I'm like, how can we do that with our platform? So I'm excited about that one. So here we go. I'll have a couple more stories, and then I will yield the floor to TJ. So Amazon is going to launch a free TV streaming service this summer with 400 content partners this summer for the Fire TV. So they announced that actually just today that they're launching Fire TV channels. It is a free live TV service that will work similar to Pluto and the Roku channel. So it's going to launch this summer. It will have 400 content partners bringing live channels to the Fire TV. So Amazon already has free content on the Fire TV in the free content section, but starting this summer, the Fire TV destination will roll out to Fire TV devices, putting content from 400 content partners in a single place in the Fire TV home screen with a very easy to browse TV section. Now, do any of you have a Fire Stick or a Fire TV?
I do not.
I do not.
No.
I have Roku and yeah. Mm-mm.
See, I do, because I do.
Dr. Tachi, I have a question. Does this mean that these 400 are going to be exclusive to the Fire TV?
That I don't know. I'm guessing the answer maybe it could be, depending on who it is.
If the writers are still on strike, I mean.
Yeah, look, that's going to affect everybody. But it affects everybody except if they have a lot of international content. That's not going to affect them. If they have a lot of, it doesn't mean that all of these are like necessarily originals.
Okay.
So listen to some of the partners that Amazon Fire TV already has: ABC News, CBS Sports Headquarters, Fox Sports, NBC News Now, America's Test Kitchen. So those are some of the things that are on Roku as well, right?
Right.
So it may or may not be exclusive, and the writer's strike may have some effect on them.
Okay.
Probably will.
Yeah, Mark has comment. He says it will most likely simply be a repackaging of the same stations that are on Pluto and Roku.
Yeah, exactly. So some may be exclusive, but I doubt that, because for exclusivity, they're going to have to pay for that. If you want somebody, they're going to have to. So that's probably not going to happen. But they say, quote, with the launch of Fire TV channels, we're doubling down our free ad-supported TV, which is FAST, experience, which already includes news, sports, food, and cooking, music videos, trailers, gaming videos, and comedy. So in the past 6 months alone, monthly hours streamed of this content has grown by 300%. When our customers love something, we invest in creating more ways to surprise and delight them. Well, I'm surprised and delighted. Yay.
So this is kind of like keeping the Amazon people inside the Amazon world. They would not have to go out to Netflix. They wouldn't have to go to get Apple TV. They wouldn't have to go to Roku. They can just kind of stay in here. Oh, you want Pluto? We have Pluto over, the Pluto lineup.
Exactly. You could really stay in the Amazon ecosystem for content and not leave it unless you were looking for something specific. Because think about it. Of course, you already have the Fire Stick, which has free TVs. You have Amazon Prime, if you're paying for that. You have Freevee, which is free ad-supported TV from Amazon. You have, and I'm even going to say Amazon Live, because you have creators that are selling products on Amazon, and they're actually pretty damn entertaining, if I do say so myself. So you have a bunch of different places that you can glean content from and not leave the Amazon system. Are you hungry? Well, guess what? We also own Whole Foods, so you can order something.
Have it delivered while you're watching your stuff.
Have it delivered while you're watching. Exactly. Do you need a couch to sit on to watch television? Order it from Amazon. Are you tired? You can get a bed from Amazon. So really, within that Amazon ecosystem, you don't have to leave, and you can get almost everything you need.
Mark has a comment. He says, I want a station that exclusively runs 70 TV movies of the week. I don't want to search all around Tubi for the necessary inventory of bad TV movies.
You know what, though? Why don't you write a letter, send a self-addressed stamped envelope to, and see what they say? Because maybe there are other people, honestly, that are looking for that same type of thing, and somebody will do it.
Right.
Absolutely. All right. So let me just say this. Give you two last pieces of content. So Fox News, or Fox, said that it settled the Dominion lawsuit to, quote, buy peace as it tries to block the release of more material in the case. So Fox said in a court filing Wednesday that it settled the monster defamation suit brought by the Dominion voting systems for $787.5 million to buy peace. And they strongly opposed motions to unseal additional related redacted material in the case.
Wow.
Fox agreed, quote, Fox agreed to settle this case with the court's encouragement, in large part to bring an end to the continued media spectacle and chill on the First Amendment rights that the case has become, according to Catherine Mowry, who is an attorney for Fox, and wrote this in a letter to Judge Eric Davis. Mowry added this: it would create profoundly perverse incentives the next time parties are encouraged to settle a high-profile trial. After all, if $787.5 billion is not enough to buy peace, parties will certainly think twice before settling in the future. Okay, That's interesting. Yeah, so speaking of Fox, Tucker Carlson.
Oh, no. Okay, yeah.
See, this is the thing. Remember I said there are never any consequences in media for people who misbehave because they come back next week with a new show.
Yeah.
Life. So there are some possible scenarios that, according to TV News, that could emerge for Tucker Carlson. And
seriously?
Yes, seriously, there are no consequences. That could include hosting the GOP candidate forum. So that's one of the many possible scenarios that he could pursue as he seeks to reinvent himself following this unceremonious exit from Fox News in late April. So according to the Washington Post, Carlson may moderate his own GOP presidential candidate forum. The idea for the forum would operate outside of the confines of the Republican National Committee debate system. And he has discussed it with the person who was formerly in the White House who would take part in it, according to the Washington Post. So the person that was formerly in the White House indicated that he is likely to avoid the GOP-approved events. So ultimately, Carlson wants to avoid the fate of other high-profile former news personalities, Bill O'Reilly, Glenn Beck, and Megyn Kelly, who after leaving the network found well-paying media jobs, but nothing like what they had at the Fox News channel. So smaller conservative networks like Trinity Broadcasting Network, TBN is actually supposed to be like a Christian network, is it not?
I thought so.
Yeah, so what's happening there?
Well, smaller conservative networks like Trinity Broadcasting Networks, OAN, and Newsmax are all reportedly vying for Carlson's services. Okay, see, that's what I don't like. If you are supposed to be I'm speaking to TBN, I expect One America News and Newsmax to do their debauchery. But Trinity Broadcasting Network, I don't like the fact that you are a supposed Christian outlet and you are trying to woo the likes of somebody like a Tucker Carlson. That's not Yeah, I don't think that vibes well. But again, that's your base. That Trinity Broadcasting Network does pander to that base, but I don't think it is a good move, and it just doesn't seem right.
Uh-huh.
But when has media ever done things right? Let me just be quiet. So another option for Tucker Carlson is, if he's not ready to speak on camera, is by doing a podcast. Podcasting could enable him to control his messaging, his distribution, and his revenue, and I could see that happening. I mean, obviously, it's worked for many a person, so I could see the podcast route. Other digital media routes could be through streaming, where, like, Glenn Beck, for example, has pitched an offer to him, or via Elon Musk's Twitter. And that's where he posted his first video since his exit from Fox. So the point is that there are multiple streams of revenue, of exposure available to him. Nobody is ever punished.
Wow.
Despite the things that continue to come out about things that he's said, etc. Despite that, there are still avenues. And it's really deplorable. I think people levy allegations at mainstream media, and when you look at these other ones like Fox News, etc., honestly, even though it's a major news network, these people are on the fringes with people who believe extreme points of views, right?
Yes.
So it's just interesting to see this. And in fact, I'll say this, that the AP has said that Americans actually fault news media for dividing the nation. And so according to the Associated Press, when it comes to news media and the impact that it's having on democracy and political polarization in the U.S., Americans are likelier to say it's doing more harm than good, because nearly 3/4 of U.S. adults say the news media is increasing political polarization in the country, and just under half say they have little to no trust in the media's ability to report the news fairly and accurately. And this is according to a new survey from the Associated Press, NORC, Center for Public Affairs and Research. So you and your thought process have nothing to do with it, right? I'm not saying that the news media are perfect. They are not. Do they do their job? Many times they don't. Are they always impartial? No, they're not. We can look at several examples. But I will say this. How dare you, America, blame news media for political polarization? That's you. So the people that are putting the messages in the media have nothing to do with it. That's you. And for believing. So we also don't take accountability for things in this country. We have an external locus of control. We will point the finger at everybody else, but that's you. You cannot blame the vessel for the message. You and the political pundits on every side, they're putting the messages out there. So you cannot blame news media. News media's job is to inform the people. Sometimes they make wrong decisions with how much information they actually allow from certain factions, but that is their job. Their job is not to rally you so that you feel better about things. They're reporting what's happening. So how dare you point the finger at media for political polarization? No, I'm not saying they have no role in it, but they're the vessel, not the message. Go ahead.
Wow. Mark has a comment. He says, where will Tucker broadcast it? Online? If on a network, they will be required to provide the same forum for the opposing party.
Well, yes, absolutely. That makes 100% sense. They did not say where, and as such, I'm guessing so that, well, if he calls himself a journalist, he will probably do that. But in my estimation, he's not really a real journalist. So that's probably why he's having his own forum, so he can have his own rules. So it's probably not going to be broadcast TV. And, with that, I'm going to yield the mic to Terry.
Okay. TJ is up. Thank you, Dr.
Hey.
Tommy.
Yes, thank you for that. Very informative. Very informative. I love the Roku news. I'm excited about that. Okay, let me fire up my iPad. Get my notes. Come on. Oh, I'm covering the camera. Can't do that. All right, so this week is social media news. We're gonna start with Snapchat. Snapchat outlines new ad opportunities and things that's happening. Again, this is because of the new front that Dr. Tachi talked about. So they had the new front this week. So Snapchat says they have some new ad options. They're looking to help advertisers tap into stories with a new first story offering, which will enable ad partners to ensure that their ad is the first to be shown between friend stories in the app on any given day. So that means you get first, you get first slot, you get first choice. So they're saying that this has the potential to reach over 50 million users and will help to boost awareness for major campaigns in the apps. They're also launching ads in Spotlight. That's its TikTok-like feed of videos. There's a little section that says, what does it say? Because when you're in Snapchat, there's a little button. So you tap the button I believe it's on the bottom far right, and then you go into the Spotlight section. And they're saying Spotlight has more than 350 monthly active users. This is up 46% year over year. So, of course, short form is the hot thing. Everybody's doing it. Everybody wants to consume it. So there you have it. Snap is also looking to facilitate brand/creator partnerships with a new Snap Star Collab Studio initiative. This will pair creators with brands for campaigns. So here's a quote from Snap. The Collab Studio will accelerate partnerships between brands and Snap stars through managed service production, supported by 4 initial partners: Studio 71, Beeline by Brat TV, Influential, and Waylar. Experienced teams will help brands create and execute sponsored stories and bespoke ad creative with Snap stars. Bespoke is a word the term they use over in UK. It means custom, like custom made, like you get couture and stuff. So
Yes.
that's why I was like, okay, this was I was like, they use because we don't use that word over here.
No, we
Bespoke,
don't.
right. So that's what it means. So they're trying to help brands create more platform native content, which will likely hold more appeal with Snap's audience. They're also doing some new sports partnerships, and they're saying they're going to do this with NBC Universal's Paris 2024 Olympic Games coverage. And their coverage of the Women's World Cup, they're going to bring Snapchatters exclusive content across Snapchat Stories, Spotlight, and Camera. Their longstanding partnerships with the WNBA, NBA, and NFL will also continue to provide content across Stories and Spotlight. One more with Snap. Snap is also doing some experimental things for promoted links in chats with the My AI chatbot. Remember, we talked about, I think last week, they said that a lot of people were not happy with the placement of their their AI chatbot, that you couldn't move it out of the way. They have not changed that. So they're saying they're going to try to get brands to get their offerings highlighted in the chat. And I don't think that's going to go over very well, but Snap is thinking that this is something good. So it'll be designed to help ad partners reach users who've indicated potential interest in their offerings. Now, all of this is unclear with the promoted links in the AI chats, and so they're saying they're going to have more information about that. So that's what's going on with Snap. They had a busy week because of the New Front event this week. And let's see let's talk about WhatsApp. WhatsApp, they've been doing a lot of stuff lately. WhatsApp has some new features, things that they're putting in. They're doing some updates around polls and sharing on the platform. They're saying you can now create single vote polls and forward media with captions. So you can create single vote polls, which means you can run a poll where people are only allowed to vote once. Right now, polls are multi-choice by default, so there's an option to turn that setting off. You'll receive notifications when people vote on your polls. You will also be shown how many people total have voted in the poll. Now, as for sharing, you can now forward media with captions. WhatsApp saying that when you forward media that has a caption, you now have the option to keep, delete, or completely rewrite it. And in the past, they're saying you weren't able to do that. So there's also another option that lets you add a caption before sharing a document. WhatsApp says these new updates are rolling out globally, and you should see them in the coming week. So if you're a WhatsApp user and you like that app, look out for that. As I said, I don't use WhatsApp, so I don't think I ever. Well, I won't say that because my mother said don't never say never. So I don't see myself using WhatsApp. I don't see it, but I could. All right, here's another new one. Nextdoor. Nextdoor launches a new assistant feature powered by who? OpenAI, ChatGPT. Didn't I tell you every app is going to have this ChatGPT option? It's going to be in every app. You will not be able to escape this thing. So Nextdoor is introducing new features powered by generative AI, and they're saying it's a new assistant feature that helps users on the app write better posts. So this being tested right now with select users. So it's designed to help you write more write posts that are more likely to drive positive community engagement. When writing a new post, users will start to see a revised suggestion that they can review and edit before finishing the post. Assistant will suggest ways to rephrase potentially harmful comments to make the same point in a more friendly way. So Nextdoor has this thing going on where they're trying to, have people not create angry posts to your neighbors and things. All right. I saw the chat popping. Let me see. Mark has a comment.
Mark is funny.
Mark says Nextdoor AI provides manufactured gossip about the hood when there's little activity. Keeps the hostility alive.
Oh.
Does anybody use Nextdoor? I was using it and then I just got rid of it because I was like, it's just not something I had time for.
I was using it at one time and it's very intrusive. I think that's where you get being, and so I turned the notifications off, and I was like, "Oh, y'all doing too much. Don't y'all got something else to do besides fussing?"
That's what I did. What you explained is that's what I did. I said, "Oh, it's too many notifications, too much this, too much that." I got rid of it.
I mean, I still have the app. I just don't go in there,
No, I don't have it. I mean, I have the account. I got rid of the app. I don't go on the web. I don't.
Right, because they send you email. Here's what's happening next door. Here, you're da 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 da. I was like, ooh, weak. It's too much.
Too talkative. I don't need all that. So Nextdoor has their OpenAI ChatGPT. So when you go in there and you try to write something mean and nasty, it's gonna pop up and say, "Don't you think you should say this instead?" And then you tap it, and it will send that. So get ready for it, Nextdoor users. Okay, so Be Real. We've been talking about them a lot. Be Real is in trouble, is what I'm saying. I've said it before. So Be Real is now making a feed of famous people. It's called Real People. It's a timeline that will feature photos snapped by artists, athletes, and activists.
Oh, well, we're not good enough to be real people? Okay.
I guess not. So it's a feed dedicated to famous people. Instead of exchanging daily photos with your friends, now you get to see what the top athletes, artists, and activists of the world are up to. And it's called Real People, a curated timeline of the world's most interesting people. A quote from Be Real. The world's most interesting people. It shows an ever-changing collection of high-profile people from around the globe. And it's supposed to be, okay, celebrities, they're real people just like us. Do you care? No. This is not what the app was supposed to be for. So this Real People feed is being tested in the UK right now. As I said before, Be Real is on the decline. So they're throwing all of these things out to say, hey, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And we're going to link with Spotify and we're going to do that. And now you can look at the feed. And because they're not getting any daily active users. I always say there's two things in the app needs: daily active users and money revenue. So Be Real came out of the box. Oh, we're not running ads and we're not asking for a subscription and blah blah blah. I was like, you're not gonna survive. You're not gonna survive. Not in this economy where in the tech world, Meta is laying off people, Twitter and Microsoft and Salesforce, they're laying off people. So why would you say, well, we're not going to do any of that? How are you getting your money? How you getting your money? VC funding, that's drying up because of the economy. So
right.
You have it. So Be Real now is throwing out everything. So their little ship is sinking and they're throwing out, okay, we got to stay afloat. Let's throw this out. Let's throw that out to get people. No, it's not happening. So I expect to hear more things from Be Real because nobody's using it. This was the hot app last year, is not this year. So no, Be Real. No. All right. So Reddit is adding new post sharing options. It will enable users to share Reddit links without the link display showing the Reddit username, so protect user privacy. Because when you share it out, Reddit has some really funny things about sharing. Because if you share it out, it has a link to your username, or it has some personal stuff that goes with it. And I'm like, nobody else does that. They just share. You can just share the link. And it doesn't put all that information in it. So obviously people have been complaining. So they're changing that. So they have an option to share Reddit posts to Instagram stories in a new sticker format, which will save you from screenshotting the post or sharing the URL. The new post sharing process provides a link to the Reddit post in a native sticker format, which will also display images attached to that link. They're also updating its link sharing process for messaging app. You now see the Reddit links automatically revert to a visual preview format similar to the IG story sticker. They also have an embedding tool for publishers. It provides a simplified process for displaying Reddit content on external sites. Now, what that is that how you can take an Instagram link or a Twitter link and you can post it on your blog post or somewhere, and it shows like the whole visual of it. Somehow Reddit has some different setting and it didn't do that before until now it does it. So they put all that in. So the tool is saying you put the URL of any Reddit post, the tool will generate an embed code which will format it properly. So this has been like a problem with Reddit. So they've decided to spiff up and change things around there because in case TikTok going down and they want, hey, come on over here. In case of Twitter, not in case of when Twitter goes away, come on over to Reddit. So they're spiffing up the house. They're cleaning up. Oh, we need to put new this and new that in and make the new users happy. So that's what's going on with Reddit. They've been doing a couple things this last month or so. I'm like, okay, they're getting ready for some new people, which is smart.
Yeah.
That's smart. Just get ready. All right, Microsoft and Bing. Bing had a big announcement this week. I put it in my story. So if you follow my stories, you already know this. Microsoft has added chat history and some other features in when you use Bing. And remember, Bing is inside of Edge, which means you have to use Microsoft Edge. Or you have to have if you have a Windows computer. I notice now on my Windows laptop, there's a search bar on my screen, like right on the Windows screen. It's just boom right there. If I want to go to Bing, I just click the little thing and type what I want. So that's how it works.
And that's kind of like Google. Google's been doing that for years.
Yes, right. But you have to go to Chrome to get that. This one is like right on the desktop.
Right.
Like Spotlight. Like a spotlight for the Mac
users.
Right,
like Spotlight.
It's right there. Yeah, when I turn it on, it's right there. I don't have to do anything. It's right there. So they really want you to use this Bing. So what's happening is that Microsoft has gotten rid of the waiting list. That means anybody would you can go and sign up right now. There's no more waiting on the beta list. If you want to use Bing, the doors are open. The doors to the church are open. Come on in with Bing. All right. So they've also done some other things. You can do a search with images. Well, not do a search with images. It will respond to a query. Whatever you put in, if there's an image available, it will show you the image also. And they're not clear on when you will see an image. They gave an example like, where's Machu Picchu? And then it came back with the results, and then there was a picture so you could see what it was. But they're saying, Microsoft is saying that that's not going to happen all the time. If there's a relevant picture, you'll get it. If not, then you won't get it. Also, they have a filter in place to prevent explicit images from showing up. They also have a way to finally save your chat conversations. That was one of the things that I hated. I was like, there was no way to save it. I had to copy and paste. I had to have a window open with a document, and this is crazy. So now they're saying they have a way to save previous chat conversations, because in ChatGPT it saves your it saves your chat conversations until you delete it. Bing Chat will store users' chat histories, letting them pick up where they left off and return to previous chats whenever they want. You'll also be able to export your chats to Microsoft Word documents. You'll also be able to delete your history at any time. So they've added all those things in. There's also another thing they added in. There's integration to third-party services like OpenTable and Wolfram Alpha, enabling people to view and take action on current information when talking to the chatbot. Now, this is what ChatGPT is doing with their plugins. Like, they'll be connected to I think it was Instacart was an example,
Right.
and then Zapier, and then Expedia, I think it was. Like, if you do a search about, I want to go to London, then it'll pop up, but you can go and make your reservations right from there. Because remember, ChatGPT is not connected to the internet. Bing has access to the internet. So that's why they're trying to put this in. Now remember, to use Bing, you must use a Microsoft Edge web browser on the PC, or you can download Edge on a Mac. Or if you have a Windows machine, like I said, there's a little window right there that pops up now. I saw that. So there's several ways if you have a Windows machine. And this is because you can't use Bing using Chrome. Like, if you go to Chrome and you go, I'm going to put a little something in, you can't do that. You have to use the Microsoft Edge browser. Also, remember, Bing is now open to everybody. Before, it was on a beta thing and you had to get on a waiting list, and then they let you in. So now there's no more waiting list. So if you want to try Bing and you haven't, go ahead. All right. So that is Bing. Let's see what else I have in the hopper. Oh, I talked about what's that? Oh, I think it was Google. Let me go up. Google had a whole bunch of stuff. All right. So YouTube is going to change or streamline the channel page options. They're looking to rearrange your channel page. And I was confused by this. So let's see if we can make sense of this. It's adding a new shelf of personalized For You recommendations for channel visitors based on their viewing history. So here's the quote from YouTube. We're building a section that will recommend content from your channel for each individual viewer. It will be personalized based on the videos they've already watched, their topic affinity, and so on. Personalization will be especially effective if your channel has multiple topic languages or content formats. What they're trying to say, each channel visitor gets a customized display of your content aligned with what they're already watched. So YouTube knows what you watch. So they can say, oh, you watch these types of videos. If you go to this person's channel page, if they have something to match, we'll try and rearrange it to make it more attractive and engaging.
So if I'm looking for stuff like on how to use my Apple iPad or whatever, it is going to start serving me up stuff.
Well, it already does that now. If you watch one video on the side, there'll be suggested.
Right. But if you put it.
Yeah, if you go to a channel page, which is a person that has a YouTube channel with the banner and everything, if they've got content that you like you said, the iPad stuff, it will try to bring that up front instead of, what's
instead of me,
there on your on the page.
okay, instead of me searching for other stuff that they might have.
Yes, instead of me going to your page and searching for, oh, I know this person does iPad videos. Let me type, because you can type in iPad and it'll give you a search of the person's page. Like
Right.
if they've done a video, it will show it up. Now you don't have to do that anymore. It will just automatically rearrange the channel page to show you content that you watched before, if that person has done content like that.
Okay.
So see, that's what I was saying. It's confusing. They're saying channel managers will also be able to exclude content type and set parameters around what gets displayed if they choose. So this is the deal. So YouTube will do this, but they're saying you as the channel owner, you can set what you want to show.
Okay.
It's not gonna YouTube not gonna override you because that's your page.
Right.
So what they're trying to do is maximize engagement by guiding users to the videos that they haven't seen that fits their content, that their interest. Instead of leaving them to go, and this is how I do it a lot. I will, go to somebody's channel and I'm like, I know they do videos on XYZ because I've seen it, but it's not at the top. So there used to, some channels don't have it. And I was like, why they don't have it is a magnifying glass icon to search. Right. Search their page, not YouTube, their page.
Right. Their page.
So now I don't have to do that now. Because YouTube knows I've watched videos about, if I watch Marcus Brownlee stuff and I go to somebody else who's similar to him, it's going to put that content up front for me.
Okay.
Because they know that's what I like. So it's kind of like a Burger King kind of thing. You get it, have it your way. All right. So they're also going to be doing some things like hiding tabs if they're empty, like playlists. Things that are on the channel. If you don't have any content to match it, those tabs won't be shown, is what they're saying. I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to override that as the page owner. They're trying to declutter channel page display and make room for new additions, because I saw some discussion about that the YouTube pages, they're trying to change them to look like if you go to the main YouTube screen. Instead of the one that's customized for you, there's a main YouTube page that shows like Mr. Beast, the most popular stuff. The podcast is there. When we talk about that, so I saw something. They're trying to change everybody's view. They're trying to change the view from the videos on the right to make them on the bottom, or like this screen. Like they want to make them on the bottom.
So meaning that I think they did it because I don't see.
Yeah, they might have done it already. So instead of going to see, you don't see the videos on the right side. They're all pushed to the bottom now.
They're all lined up down
on the bottom, right?
Like little squares.
Yes, little squares on the bottom, like the bottom of here, like here.
Right, and then there's so they're all little squares underneath the bottom.
Yeah, underneath the main video.
It's kind of like who was that I was watching? It's like Netflix. It's
that's what it's like.
It's all lined up down here, and now they have the tabs across where you can go, different tabs based on what you were searching for.
Yes, it's subtle. It's subtle changes that make it like, okay, this is we know what you watch. So at the bottom are the videos instead of being at the right. So they're trying to move it around. And shake it up.
Right.
All right. Yeah. Okay. And this is all because the new fronts was this week. So, various platforms are announcing the changes that they've made. Okay. Another one from Google. Blueberry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. What is New Fronts?
Oh, New Fronts is like Upfront. So Upfronts is the TV networks have this big week of production where they display their shows to get advertisers to buy.
Okay.
So they have one for digital media. It's called New Fronts.
Okay, got it.
Instead of Upfront, it's New Front. So it's digital media. And Dr. Taki mentioned it a little bit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So they had it this week.
Okay.
It's for advertisers. It's like a pageant show for the TV shows, and then they go, "Oh, look at this show. Don't you want to advertise on it?" That kind of thing.
Got it.
All right. Google has blue verified check marks to come into Gmail. Google is going to start displaying a blue check mark next to select senders' names on Gmail to verify their identity. The new blue check marks will automatically appear next to companies that have adopted Gmail's existing brand indicators for message identification feature. Now, I don't know what that is. It's some BIMI.
Woo wee.
BIMI feature, this came out in 2021, requires senders to use strong authentication and verify their brand logo in order to display a brand logo as the avatar in email. Oh, I know what this is. When you go to Gmail and you see a little logo sometimes, you see somebody's logo, not the picture, like the brand logo.
Right.
The brand has to get that verified with Gmail. So they're so because you've already been verified, they're they're gonna put a check mark too.
Oh, yes, we can. So we can use our little logo.
But this is more for brands, not for like if you're signing up personally. Those are personal accounts.
No, I meant for like BizChicks. We can.
Yes.
We can put our little.
If you've gone through this BIMI.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, you have to sign up for that first. Users will see a checkmark icon for senders that have the BIMI feature. Google says this update will help users identify messages from legitimate senders versus impersonators. So you hover over the blue check mark and it says the sender of this email has verified that they own the domain and logo and the profile image. So this is, because Gmail is always about authentication. So they're trying to up it here. Here's a little quote. In 2021, we introduced brand indicators for message identification in Gmail, a feature that requires senders to use strong authentication and verify their brand logo in order to display a brand logo as an avatar in emails. Building upon that feature, users will now see a checkmark icon for senders that have used BIMI. This will help users identify messages from legitimate senders versus impersonated. So they're saying that this is available to all Google Workspace customers. Oh, it is. Oh, including personal Google accounts, as well as legacy G Suite basic and business customers, because it was the system was called G Suite for business and stuff, and then they all switched it to Google Workspace. So they're putting all legacy accounts. If you've gone through the BIMI as a legacy account and everything, you're all set because you've gone through the steps to authenticate with Google. So they're saying that now you will get the blue check mark. And I don't see a price, so I'm assuming it's free. That's what I'm gonna assume. Now, they didn't talk about any pricing. Like Twitter Blue, you got to pay this, and Meta, you got to pay that. So we should see that. And also, Google is letting more people try out AI features in Workspace. So it was testing out AI features in a small subset of Workspace users. So they said they've increased the number of testers. So if you're in that and you get invited to the party, you can test out generative AI features in the Workspace app. So they're starting with Google Docs and Gmail. So if you're part of that lucky crew, then you'll get notified. They will let you know, hey, come and test out these new AI features. And this one doesn't belong to Google, but I'll mention it real quick. The White House had a meeting this week. They're going to roll out a plan to promote ethical AI. The Biden administration is introducing new funding and policy guidelines for developing artificial intelligence, and I believe they met with Madam Vice President this week, Kamala Harris, and they met with Alpha, Anthropic, Microsoft, and OpenAI to discuss AI's potential risks, because that is a fear that is coming up. So I'm happy to hear this, that the government is at least trying to say, okay, we need to be a part of the conversation. We need to have some guidelines in place, because it's really, this is like a horse out of the barn kind of thing, but at least they recognize, that they got to do something.
Right.
So they're saying that the meeting is part of a broader ongoing effort to engage with advocates, companies, researchers, civil rights organizations, not for nonprofit organizations, communities, international partners, and others on critical AI issues. So now they, I'm glad to hear this. It's better than nothing. It's
Right.
better than silence. So just wanted to mention that real quick. All right, just a few more. Just TikTok has they're expanding their creativity program. It's their creator fund, but they put some more they put some more roadblocks. I see them as roadblocks. So you have to have 10,000 followers and your videos have to be a certain length. Let me
Oh,
see. So TikTok says beginning May 3rd, which is already passed, US creators with at least 10K followers and 100K authentic video views in the last 30 days are eligible to join the creativity program beta. Now, this beta program was invite only. So now it's not, but now these are the qualifications you have to have. The creativity program beta is in its early stages and we're continuously exploring ways to improve the experience for our creator community and the way creators are rewarded. So this is their monetization program where if you make a certain amount, well, not a certain amount, but if you get a certain amount of views, you get paid. You're not sharing in the ad revenue, but they determine what you get. And I think somebody said it was like 1 cent a view or something like that.
Mm.
So it's not very clear on how to determine the money and who gets what, but now they're saying that they're allowing more people to join this program. So if that's something you're interested in, those are the limits. You have to have 10,000 followers and at least 100K authentic views in the last 30 days.
Wow.
Oh yeah. So also TikTok has some. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's a lot. So then you have the alternative of YouTube Shorts, which is a different animal, but I've heard that you get paid better with YouTube. YouTube pays better than TikTok. So that's what I heard. That was like 1 cent a view on TikTok. And then you might not get it because you have to meet a certain threshold, which we just heard. So it's like you're making these videos and you don't make it to the 100K view, then what? You just wasted your time, I guess? I don't know.
You better be happy with the videos that you make and
Right.
and you did it because you enjoyed making the video, not because you was gonna get paid, because you may not.
Right. Because see, this is the the influencer track. They're trying to get paid off of the number of views, and as business owners, we're like, we need eyeballs and turn them into customers. The views are okay. So if we get 10K views, we're good. But to them, if they don't reach the 100K views, they're not going to get anything. So,
wow.
Just saying. All right, TikTok has something called Post Premiere. They're partnering with big name publishers NBCU, Condé Nast, Dotdash Meredith, BuzzFeed, and others. They want to pull in premium ad dollars. So again, this was announced at the New Fronts. They're announcing a new premium ad product that will allow marketers to position their brand ads directly after TikTok publishers and media partners' content in over a dozen categories, including lifestyle, sports, entertainment, education, and more. So it's like a brand. They're saying that it's a brand safe space within TikTok's TikTok's platform, and they guarantee their ads will run immediately after what TikTok refers to as suitable TikToks from premium publishers. So this is the opposite of what Snap is doing. Snap is saying, okay, you get first look on the story. TikTok is saying you get to piggyback off of NBC, Condé Nast, BuzzFeed, and any other kind of major platform where they have a lot of viewers. So you have to think about it. Well, that might be okay. Because if you're holding on to the tail of NBC, that might be a good tail to hold on. Because if they're getting all these views and then here you come, you might get some of those eyeballs. Is the way that they're framing it.
So it's like having an anchor tenant if you're next door
yes,
to.
This is about ad placement. So Snap is saying you get to get the front of the line, and TikTok says you get to hold the tail of the tiger of NBC or somebody like that who has lots of followers, subscribers, and views. So you might get some of those views. So we'll see. But that's what's going on with TikTok.
Okay, so here's my thing.
Mhm.
They are acting like they're not going to get shut down because they're like, okay, we can get advertisers from, all of these name brand companies,
Right.
like to legitimize. It sounds like they're trying to legitimize themselves
Well,
by.
see, yes, if they can get the big guys, the big guns, to advertise, and then that opens the door for smaller businesses to say, well, I want a piece of that pie. That's a big pie. It might have 100 million views on a video. You want a slice of that, because that little tiny sliver of that pie is going to be more than enough for us to eat off as a small business owner. See?
Yeah, and then it's like they can't shut us down with these people on board. Yeah.
Right, and that's another thing. They do. TikTok is trying to hold on to not being banned. So, and we haven't heard talk of a ban yet. We haven't heard any more talk since that big the CEO went in front of Congress. Was it last month, a month before?
Yeah.
Like 2 months ago. So we'll see. TikTok's still hanging on. They're trying to do some things. And I forgot to look at Lemon 8. Their
alternative,
their other little app, Lemon 8, that they're trying to say, okay, if you shut TikTok down, we got Lemon 8.
Where and why? Okay, because they think
crazy.
we're that enamored with
Yes.
what we're doing.
Yes, and we talked about this. Remember, we said Gen Z really doesn't care. They want TikTok. They want their TikTok. And if they put here's another entree instead of steak, here's some shrimp, but it's served by the same chef. They don't care. Gen Z doesn't care. They just want to, do the things that they're doing. All right, so just a few from Meta, and then we're done. Instagram is testing a new generative AI sticker creation process in the app. So this will enable users to create visuals in the app based on text prompts. So this will create custom stickers in stream powered by generative AI. Users will be able to share those visuals in the app, providing another way to engage and create using Instagram's native tools. And there is a quote from Zuckerberg, because Zuckerberg, they're saying that he's very into this generative AI, and he really wants to put the tools in both Instagram and WhatsApp and Facebook. So Zuckerberg says, I think there's an opportunity to introduce AI agents to billions of people in ways that will be useful and meaningful. We're exploring chat experiences in WhatsApp and Messenger, visual creation tools for posts and Facebook and Instagram, and ads, and over time, video and multimodal experiences as well. I expect that these tools will be valuable from everyone, from regular people to creators to businesses. So see how they snuck that in ads?
Mm-hmm.
They want you to make more ads. And guess what? If it's easy to make an ad, you will make an ad. Right now, the process is like, I don't. What do you do? Even though Facebook has a wizard to help you through it, it's still kind of like
it doesn't, because because you don't know. Okay, is the ad getting to people that I'm wanting to get through? And
did I say the right thing? Is the copyright? So now, if you got an AI tool to help you, wouldn't you want to make an ad? They're gonna make it so easy. Come on over here and make it. It's gonna be so easy. You just go over here and you put in a bunch of words, put in some keywords, and it's gonna spit it out for you, and you just run with it.
Yeah, now see that for me, the copy is not the issue. It's the other stuff on the back end for making ads with Facebook. It is difficult to go in there and find ad manager. How you get that part is hard, not the
That's the hard part, right? But see, this is the part where you're onboarding people with the new tool that everybody's fascinated with. So you onboard them, and they're working to make that process easier. It's still like, if you want to do things with the ad, there's certain things that you have to know. But I have a feeling that they're going to make that easier, because they're trying to onboard us with the AI tools, because the AI will make the text and make the image. And it'll be click this, do that, click that, and then you're done. Like the boosting of a post. That's how they're going to do this.
Now,
that's how easy.
If they can make ads that easy, then because the boost is pretty much you just take this post and click.
Right. But see, the thing is, there's still the back end where people who know how to, that have experience in running ads and know what they want to do, that will be there.
Right.
Like the fine tuning will still be there for those people, but the ones who, I heard I need to run an ad, or I'm running an ad, I don't know what to do. It's going to be real easy now because Zuckerberg, he's got a taste for it.
Right.
So he wants it in WhatsApp, Messenger, Facebook, Instagram, and ads. And then he's saying in video and multimodal experience. Multimodal just means different forms, like written, text, visual, audio, podcast, sound, all of that. So he's trying to get all the pie. So they're starting with they're starting small with letting you create a generative AI sticker. They're starting small, which is smart. Here's a little taste of it. You want to make a sticker? Use the chat GPT, use the AI tool and put this in and put your text in, and isn't that easy and fun? Now come over here and make an ad. So I see you, Zuckerberg. I see you. Now, one more thing about Meta. I know the FTC is behind them because they're doing something with kids' data. I just want to mention that real quick. The FTC, Federal Trade Commission, says Meta has repeatedly violated its privacy promises and misled parents. It mostly has to do with Messenger, with the tool Messenger, that there's something with Messenger Kids, not the regular Messenger. Do you remember that Meta said they were going to put out a Messenger Kids just for kids?
I remember it vaguely. I've never seen it because I'm not a kid, but okay.
Right. So they're saying Meta has continued to grant app developers access to users' private information. The FTC is leveling this up because they've repeatedly violated the promises. So FTC they're going to give Meta 30 days to respond, and then the FTC is going to do something drastic. I don't know what it is, but they're going to do it. And I believe that's your social media news update for this week.
Hey, thank you so much, TJ. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in with us live and on the replay, Clubhouse, wherever you are watching from. We want to say thank you so much for giving us an opportunity to share with you tips, tools, strategies, and everything you need to take the hassle out of your hustle so that you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. We will be back on Monday with some more conversations, and TJ will be here on Tuesday. Dr. Tachi, you can find her on Mediascope on Wednesdays. Yes, besides all of our other wonderful guests throughout the week on our YouTube channel. So subscribe over there, get notifications, and become a part of the BizChicks community. You just need to text biz to 33777, and then or just go to bizchicks.net, and we will definitely see you next week. Thank you so much. TJ, any final words? Dr. Tachi, any final words? We just want to say thank you.
Yeah, I just want to mention real quick, and we talked about this on Tuesday. I'm going to bring up the graphic that I'm going to have a build your brand with AI. We're going to do a little workshop. And if you are in, and this is Thursday, May 25th, I have it scheduled from 1 p.m. So if you're in the Discord, it's closing the doors. Get in there now because you're going to get a little gift. You're going to get something special to make this go down good. Make this build your brand with AI thing go down good. So it's going to be Thursday, May 25th online. And, we're going to have fun. We're going to try to keep it to an hour, but I got a feeling that it might go over an hour, but that's okay by me. That's okay. So build your brand with AI. It's okay with me. I got it scheduled for an hour. I'm just saying get ready because I'm not sure how many people have questions. I was on Dr. Bob's show last Friday before this show, and there was tons of questions about AI. Tons. So I'm really excited about it. So get in the Discord now because there's going to be something special for you, and then I'm going to announce it on my socials and everything. It'll be a different kind of thing. So if you're in the Discord now, and how do you get to the Discord?
You
Let's
just
find it. Oh, here it is. There it is. TerryJohnsonOnline.com/info. There's a link to get in the Discord, and you just sign up. It's browser based and app based, both of those. So, and it's just we're starting to have this little community where I put in news, because we talk about this social media news, media news. We talk about the news on Friday, but there's other stuff happening during the week. So you want to get the jump on it and learn about it when it comes out. I've got things going in there, breaking news, social media news, and other stuff to come. And again, I'm not doing an overwhelm. We're going to do this slowly. There's going to be more stuff, but right now we're doing the Build Your Brand with AI workshop. So
all right,
I hope you join me for that.
Join us. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you again for spending some time with us. We look forward to seeing you next week, and definitely at the workshop on May 25th. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
Oh,
we got it. Bye, everybody. Have a good weekend.